So my name is Ruth Ann Anderson. I have been with the Counseling and Human Development Program for 10 years now. And before that, I was, and actually I still am, a mental health clinical counselor in the state of Ohio. I've been practicing for a pretty long time. The counseling program here is interested in training practitioners. There are some programs that have a master's degree and a doctoral degree joined together. I think that to come to a program that just has a master's degree is a win-win for you as a student. Because even though doctoral programs have less students that are doc students than master's degree students, those doctoral students command a lot of the faculty's attention. And so for you, as a master's level student, you're going to get all of our attention. The second thing that you gain by being in a master's only program is that when you are taught by core faculty that have experience clinically and have experience teaching. When you're in a program that has doctoral students attached, those doctoral students have to practice teaching. And sometimes those doctoral students will have gone from their bachelor's degree straight into their master's degree, straight into their PhD, and they don't have very much experience clinically, and they're green teachers. And so even though they may have a teacher who's providing some oversight of them, they're still green as teachers. So what you get here at Walsh is you're taught by core faculty, or when we bring in an adjunct, we bring in someone who is practicing in the field and is an expert in the area that they are teaching. And so you are always going to have someone who's very grounded clinically. Another thing that I like about our program is that we work hard to bring in clinicians and counselor educators. So someone who has practiced in the field for long enough that it will inform the way that they teach. It won't just be an ivory tower education. Another thing that I think is good in our program is because this university is not a Research One university, and faculty are not under this huge pressure to publish or perish in their position. What many of us do on our day off campus is we see clients. That we work in the field that we were trained to be in. And again, I think that that informs our teaching. It changes what we use as examples and how we move through the content. We are a small group. We have 6 full-time faculty. We have 3 tracks. The first track is clinical mental health counseling. This is a CACREP accredited track. And if you are pursuing clinical mental health counseling, you want to make sure that you go to a CACREP accredited program. Ohio is the first state to write this into the law of the state. And so in order to get a license in clinical mental health, it has to be a CACREP accredited program. We have a track in school counseling, and we have a track in student affairs and higher education. The Student Affairs and Higher Education track is if you are interested in working in an office or some type of campus position, it will train you to be in just about any position across the board. It is a 5-semester program, 42 hours. Our school counseling program is 48 hours. Usually it takes somewhere between 2 years and 1 semester to 2 years and 2 semesters, depending on when your internship needs to occur, because sometimes our school students have to wait out a summer. There's no school in session in the summer. And then our clinical mental health track it's a 60-hour track. That is a number that is set by the state of Ohio, 60 hours. It takes somewhere between 2 years and 2 semesters and 3, depending upon how you schedule. Typically, our students schedule 3 classes a semester, and that is considered full-time for us. We have the option of doing something that we call dual, and we're one of the only universities in this area that does that. And what that means is if you're interested in 2 of our tracks, you can pursue both of them at the same time. We have very similar core requirements. So let's say that you can't decide which type of counselor you want to be, and so you decide you're going to go for both. When you graduate, you will be able to sit for the test for both school counseling and clinical mental health counseling, and you will only have to get 1 degree. Other schools won't let you do that. We will even work with you. Maybe you'll come in as a clinical mental health counselor, and in your 2nd or 3rd semester you decide, I think I want to do school. And we will plug you right into doing a dual. We'll switch you in terms of your designation with the university and kind of rewrite your plan as you move through training. And so we try to be flexible. Our courses are all in the evening. They're 1 night a week. So we have full semester courses. We have 8-week courses where they happen in the first half or in the second half of the semester, usually from Monday through Thursday night. The courses run from 6 to 9 p.m. if it's a full semester. If it's a half a semester, it's from 5:30 to 9:30 with 1 Saturday to kind of make up the face-to-face time. So the most that you're going to be out in a semester for actual classwork would be 3 nights a week if you had all full semester classes. If you have half semester classes, you might only be out 2 nights. So you might have 1 class that runs the full semester and then an 8-week class in the beginning and an 8-week class at the end. Sometimes students are able to take 4 classes if they're able to juggle it all. And that's sometimes where the difference comes in terms of how many semesters it takes for you to finish. Financial, we'll talk about that for a little bit. We have something called a Premier Student Discount. And what that does is it gives you a 25% discount off of the tuition rate. It is based on a combination of your GPA and experiences that you have maybe listed on your resume or that you talk about when you come into an interview. And you get 7 points, you get 25% off of your tuition for your time at Walsh University. Most of our students will qualify for this based on their GPA alone. And so it's a nice discount, almost too easy to get. But what that does for us is it allows us to give you a private school education at a public school price. Financial aid starts at 2 classes a semester, and full-time for us is 3. And so we have students that will take 3 classes. We have students that will take 2. We have students that are 1 specialty. We have students that are dual. And so because of that, we have what we call a soft cohort model. You'll get to know people that maybe started a little bit behind you in the program, and then students that might have started with you. So you get to know a cross-section of people. We also have some scholarships. We have a $1,000 book scholarship, and we have a $500 scholarship, and then there's 1 or 2 that are $200, $250 scholarships. We send out an email to our students to let them know we're accepting applications, and all you have to do is follow the directions and submit your materials. We do a blind review and we choose the winner of the scholarship. We have a counseling honor society, and we have a student affairs honor society. And so if you have a 3.5 grade point average, we invite you to join these honor societies. They do some really awesome service. You get to know peers in your field and to be involved in advocacy. It looks nice on your resume that you're doing something like that. And for those of you that are thinking about remaining in the area and practicing, to remain a member means that when we offer training events, we call them continuing education events, and both licenses require training to occur regularly. We offer them at pretty inexpensive prices, and we cut the cost for our Honor Society members. You will be assigned a faculty advisor, and you'll meet formally with your faculty advisor 2 times a year. The first time you meet, we'll set up your prospectus. It's kind of your journey through the program. You'll have an estimated graduation date, and we get you registered for the next semester. We meet with you in the fall and in the spring. Our classes occur year-round, and so you're always in school. We're a little bit different than the undergrad programs. We don't take the same kinds of breaks. We have a peer mentoring program, and what that means is your first night of class will ask you if you're interested in that, and if you say yes, we will match you up with the student who's in the track you're interested in, that's a little bit ahead of you in the program, and if you want to ask them questions, tips on what different professors are like or what would they recommend, then you'd be able to do that and not have to worry about asking a faculty member. And then when you're a little bit further ahead in the program, we'll ask you if you would like to be a mentor. And so it's a nice way to turn it around. Walsh University has a graduate writing tutor. We invite that tutor to classes, and he was a good one to help you with APA formatting, how to write a nice paper. It gives you an extra set of eyes. We strongly encourage our students to use him. We like him to keep his job. And then we also have CHD tutors. So if there is a particular assignment that you're struggling with, you would like a little bit of extra help, that is also a service that's available to you. We have actually a global service that we are involved in. Since about 2009, the CHD program has been traveling to Uganda, and we have been doing training of paraprofessionals from Uganda, nurses, teachers, priests, beginning counselors, in basic counseling skills, advanced counseling skills, trauma, family and marriage and family therapy, and our students travel with us as assistant teachers. We wrap that up into an elective so that it counts towards your education, and we cut the price of our tuition down to $150 a credit hour, and I think the trip on average has costed our students somewhere between $3,200, $3,500, and that includes everything. So, you do some work as assistant teachers. We couldn't do it without you. And maybe we take a trip down the Nile River and see a safari before we come home. We work very hard to have small class sizes. We cap our classes at 18. If it gets to be 20, we think it's large. We know our students by name. We like to have interactional discussion. You probably won't get away with being too quiet in our classroom. We learn your names. We have a pretty open door policy in terms of seeing our students, even though we only formally advise 2 times a year. It's pretty regular that we meet with our students just about at any point that they need to meet with us during the semester.